shedding 6 times. What is going on, Horror Gang? How is everybody doing tonight? Welcome to another edition of Watch the Madness Wednesday here on I Shot Him Six Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host, Marcus. You can call me I Shot Him Six Times, Ghost from Mars. As long as it's nothing derogatory, whatever. You know what I mean? As long as you guys are here to show your support, I'm greatly appreciative of that. Please be sure to shoot that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are a new viewer on this channel. The support is greatly appreciated. If you're a returning subscriber, joining the chat and etc. tonight, please be sure to shoot this stream a like. Really helps the channel, as you guys know. Glad that you guys are here to join me for this watch party of Night of the Demons, a 1988 classic, underrated classic. I remember on Shoot at Me Monday, I was having a live conversation with everybody in the chat, and shout out to you, Val Janowski, for bringing that up. I had mentioned something about underrated horror movies that a lot of people don't talk about, and for some reason, this just really slipped my mind. And then Val brought it up, and it bugged the hell out of me that I had forgot about this because it's actually one of my favorites. So I decided that tonight, why not do a watch party and watch it together? So hopefully you guys, in the chat, join me. You guys are ready. Let's say we'll give it another 4 to 5 minutes, something like that. I'm gonna hit up the chat, see what the comment says. You know what I mean? See what you guys are saying in the chat box and stuff, and say what's up to everybody who's here in the chat. We got 2 people here so far. You know what I mean? So sure we get more. Val, so in response to your other the other movie that you want to do a watch party on, I would like to actually do that Rocky Horror Picture Show because I've never watched that. So that's something we could definitely do for next Wednesday's watch party. Definitely Rocky Horror Picture Show. I've never watched it, not once. So I would definitely be interested in taking a gander and see what that's about. I heard a lot of good things about it. I just never, for some reason, never picked it up to watch it. Sci-fi horror, but fun to watch. Yeah, I heard it's like sci-fi horror. I don't mind some sci-fi horror. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of the faculty. So there's some sci-fi type horror out there that I can get into for sure. Excuse me. Mm. Damn Hot Pocket. Those things are addicting. Conrad, what's going on, man? How you doing tonight, Conrad? And people need to find a way to watch Night of the Demons. It's also on YouTube, just giving people options. Appreciate it, Conrad. Yeah, I think I put it in the description that yeah, it's on YouTube. You can buy or rent it on YouTube, Vudu as well, or you can get it for free. Watch it for free, stream it for free on Amazon Prime if you guys have Amazon Prime. So you don't got to pay the $5 to rent it. And if you don't have an Amazon Prime account, sign up for one so you get a free trial, and then you can get to watch the movie free. And then if obviously you want to cancel your subscription, you can. Conrad says, I know what you did last summer would be a good one to watch. It's funny you mentioned that, Conrad, because I had that on my upcoming list for, watch, like for Throwback Thursdays. And then I'm going to lead into a watch party for that. So that's something that is on the list eventually for sure. Craving something scary. My man, what's going on, buddy? Hey, man, just want to say hi and have an awesome watch party. If we're not streaming right now, I'd have joined you maybe the next on one talk soon. No doubt, Craven, for sure, buddy, for sure. And most likely, once we're done with this stream, buddy, because you already know we know how you go all night or whatever. I'll pop in and check on you, no doubt about it. That's right, Conrad, for sure. That's right. No bigotry, no negative thoughts, no hate, just strictly talking horror. Yes, that's right. Val says, "Oh my God, Marcus, you've never seen it?" No, I have not. I have not seen it. So, and honestly, I think it works out perfectly because then we can definitely watch that next Wednesday, and it'll be my first time. So, you know, especially if I enjoy it, I get to enjoy it with y'all. Val says, "Since we're waiting a bit, I'll give you the list." Okay, cool. Send it on in, Val. Cool beans. Conrad says Tim Curry was awesome as Pennywise. Oh yeah, absolutely. Necessary distraction. What's going on, Amber? How you doing tonight, girl? Thank you for joining in the stream. Appreciate it. You and Craven went live at the exact same time. LOL. Yeah, I did see that Craven was set to go live at 10:30. Um, I assumed that being that he's an hour behind, that was like, you know what I mean? Like maybe at 11:30, you know what I mean, over here, you know what I mean, he'd be starting at 10:30 over there. But no, he started at the same time, which is cool. Like I said to him, when we're done wrapping up here, you know how Craven goes for a long time. If he's still streaming, I'll end up popping in and checking him out and stuff like that, for sure. But yeah, so before we get into it, before we get into the movie or whatever, I just want to say, like I said the other day on, Shoot at Me Mondays, this is one of my favorites. Like, and it just really bugs me that I forgot about this movie because I haven't watched it in a little bit. I mean, I want to say the last time I watched it was probably like almost 2 years ago. I think it was like during the pandemic when everything got shut down and you're binge watching, everything, old school stuff, new school stuff. And this is one of the ones I did binge watch and caught up on, but I haven't watched it since then. That's why I guess it slipped my mind. But this is definitely one of my favorites. I love the Angela character. I love the whole concept. And it's funny because I didn't know that it was the same actress playing Angela throughout the entire trilogy. I did not know that until like I was, looking at the description, the name descriptions and the credits. I remember seeing the second one and then, had the same actress's name from the first one. I'm like, wait a minute, it's the same woman playing Angela. You know what I mean? And so I didn't know that. You know what I mean? And so that was really fascinating because basically she basically grew up in that franchise, and it is so underrated in my opinion. Like I guess because it's like it is kind of super campy, but I enjoy the super campiness of this movie. I enjoy, the 1980s effects of this movie. You could tell, obviously, the makeup and stuff is fake, but it was fun. I enjoyed it, and it had some scariness to it. It wasn't like this movie was just like blood and comedy. Like, no, it had some scary moments. It had some tense moments for sure. I really enjoy this movie, and I'm really glad that we're watching it here tonight, and you guys are here in the chat or joining me for it. I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, I always go back to that opening scene. We're going to see it here in the opening scene is when the old man when Sal scares the shit out of him, and he's like, "You son of a bitch!" That always gets me. Always makes me pop. Nice, 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 nice. Hey, Marcus, once we have that GoFundMe, Jackie wants to help us promote it. Oh, I appreciate that. Yes, I'm actually, obviously after the stream, I am going to pop it on Craven, but probably while I'm watching Craven after the stream and stuff like that, I'll be working on that. Either it'll be a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter. I haven't decided which one I want to mess with yet. I'm leaning more towards Kickstarter. You know what I mean? So either way, that is getting done after the stream tonight. All right, gang. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm about ready. So what we're gonna do, obviously, is we're gonna do a countdown. Well, I want everybody in the chat though to do is let me know when they're ready, and then we'll do a 3-second countdown. And anybody who ends up coming into the stream, if they're obviously behind and stuff like that, we can just give them a timestamp on where we're at. Okay, I see you. Val says I'm ready. Bobby's breakdowns. What's up, Bob? What's going on, buddy? Yeah, I can't wait for next Saturday neither, but it's gonna be lit for sure. I'm gonna end up putting that stream together, like hooking up the overlay and everything. I'm gonna actually get a hold of Bob, and I want you both to send me like pictures of yourself because I want to make like a cool overlay for that stream we're gonna do. Chris Chestnut, my buddy Chris, what's going on, man? Thank you for stopping by, man. What's going on? I prefer 4 seconds. Okay, we'll do 4 seconds just for you, Chris, just because you stopped by. I appreciate it, man. Conrad says I'm ready. All right, we got 2 people ready. All right, so I'm almost certain we're all ready. All right, we're gonna do a 4-second countdown. This one's for Chris. 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, everybody say what's up to Chris. Chris is a really good friend of mine, you guys, and stuff from here at home and stuff like that. Really good friend of mine. Show him some love in the chat. Oh man, let's go. We're here. It's on now. Ah, that entrance music. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, that shit is just so. Oh man, love it, man. I'm just getting childhood running through right now, man. And I love that artwork that they did in the opening frame too. That shit is so sick. I love the artwork in the opening frame in the opening credits. Yo, that theme song is a bop. I'm bopping. Let's go. Yo, that shit is tight. I love the score in this movie as well. If you can't tell, obviously, especially from the opening credits. Like that score in the opening credits is just mwah. Valerie, Marcus, I'm glad I mentioned this movie. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm glad you did too. Like I said, I'm so mad at myself that like it slipped my mind when we were talking about underrated movies. Oh man. I wish let me ask you guys something. Did I forget? Obviously, forget it. I have to look at the credits or whatever. The woman who plays Angela? Did she ever play in any other like horror movies? I cannot recall seeing her in any other franchises but this. Chris says, "Love y'all, maybe." That's right, Chris. Bomb for sure. Conrad says, "If '80s horror music had a sound, if '80s horror music had a sound, that'd be it." Yes, I agree with that. Honestly, I do. I love this entrance sound. Like this whole score in the beginning was just like I said, mwah. Music by Dennis Michael Tenney. Well, he did a fantastic job. Oh, you're talking about Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight, Conrad. That was my jam too. That was my jam. If you're talking about that, I loved Billy Zane in that movie. I thought he played a fantastic devil. They had a lot of great actors in Demon Knight. They had my boy was it Disturbing Behavior, the janitor or whatever he was. I think he was a janitor, the one who was like rats from the bay, rats from the bay. He played Breaker. I thought he was great. That's another watch party we're going to do is Demon Knight. Yes. Chris says I called dibs on that reference. Let's go. Big Boy was my homie, y'all. I love him. He's hilarious. There he is, the old man. Don Boy, you want to come up here and watch it with me? All right, buddy. Come here. Say what's up to Don Boy, everybody. He wants to come and watch the movie with us. Come here, bub. Oh, here comes Sal creeping up on the old man. You son of a bitch. Oh my God, it never gets old. Oh, oh my God, it never gets old. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. I fucking love it. Oh man. Oh God, that's just too rich. Never gets old after all these years. He was a real grumpy old man, though. She tried to help him in everything. He called her a whore. So mean. Oh man. Oh yeah, that's my boy Conrad for sure. Yeah, Judy was hot. I'm not even gonna lie, Judy. Shit, I think I underrated her. In all honesty, yeah, I forget the actress's name, but shit, she was pretty hot. Kid old Judy. That's my shit, Conrad. I love it. Never gets old, man. You son of a bitch. And here's this douchebag. Only wanted Judy for one thing. Fucking asshole. Damn. Judy had a nice ass. Oh, okay, Val. Wow. Is that more like is that like a comedy or is that like a horror too? Either way, that's something we can put on a list, for the future watch party as well. Excuse me. I'm waiting for Judy's little brother to come up. He's funny as hell too. We're on it. Add it to the list, Val. Bodacious booby sis. If you go any bigger, you'll have to hire someone just to tie your shoes. Good shit, kid. Good shit. Off topic, you remember Ghoulies Chris? That's another one I never watched. That's another one I haven't watched. You and Val are putting me on tonight, you guys. So you guys are making me a list of movies that I haven't watched, and we're going to do it here on the channel. We're going to have watch parties for them. I have not watched Ghoulies neither. I heard about it, but I have not watched it. Critters, I have seen. Puppet Master, yes. Munchies, I have not neither. Oh, I think she played an episode of Freddy's Nightmares too. Ooh, I'll have to look that up. I loved all those Little Menace movies, Ghoulies, Critters, Munchies, Puppet Master. Yeah, I have not seen Ghoulies and Munchies, Chris. So that's something I'm gonna definitely add to the list, and we'll do a watch party here on the channel for those. I'm always into looking into movies I've never even never heard about or haven't watched yet, and that I have heard about. So yeah, we can definitely do that here on the channel. Sal trying to bribe me with a quarter. That's right, kid. Tell him what it is. You don't fucking settle for no quarter. Make him cough up that buck. Come on, Sal. Stop being a cheap bastard. There you go. That's right. Crisp $1 bill. Well, it ain't so crisp. It is wrinkled, but hey, good enough. I love Sal's character as well. Hey, listen, you know what I mean? It's just certain movies that, in all honesty, that I just I want to say maybe you could say I'm picky with what I watch because there's been a lot of like B movies that I gave a chance and was like really, really disappointed. Now I'm not saying these are B movies, you know what I mean? But there's just I'm gonna put it this way: I'm a guy who loves like slasher, like mass killers, stuff like that. I've never really been one to really get into sci-fi. There's only a couple sci-fi that I can do, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But I'm more of the like the slasher type. But hey, this is part of the journey. Is you know what I mean? This is part of the journey is me also finding new content, me that I've never seen before, and showcasing it here on the channel. You know what I mean? So that's you know what I mean. Hey, you know what I mean? It happens. Terrifier. I haven't watched that yet, neither. My mom loves that, and I watched a few scenes of it, and I don't know. Maybe I got to really sit down and watch it. I don't know. I just really wasn't interested in it like that. Like, you know what I mean? I'd have to really sit down and give it a chance. Honestly, I do. You know what I mean? I didn't give it a chance. You know what I mean? I gave it a couple scenes, and I'm just like, oh, this just seems, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm picky, you guys. Like I am. Yes, The Faculty should have been made into a movie franchise. I agree. I enjoyed The Faculty so much. Oh, the good old trick, where the chick, shows her booty off, so her friend in the back can steal all the shit in the back and get out scot free without having to pay nothing. They don't make them like that no more. Oh man. Val says, I'm teasing you, Marcus, but you like both of those. Oh, well, I hope I do. You know what I mean? Even if I don't end up liking it though and stuff like that, I'm just glad that I get to share it and watch it, my first time with you guys, in all honesty. Angela, so fun. Mm. Yes, I have a crush on the demon. I don't care. She can possess me all she wants. Excuse me. I ain't gonna lie though. I like that shirt that homeboy's wearing, that turquoise like little button up. Thing is fresh. Sour balls. That's right. Oh man. But my partner's like, he responds, he's like, why sure we do. And she's like, too bad. I bet you can't get a blowjob. Good shit. Oh, look, the sun-dried pudel turds. Oh, I love it. Fucking Billy. Oh man, Billy's a classic. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you guys talking about Basket Case? I've never seen that neither, but wow, dude has like his separated Siamese twin in a basket and feeds it to people. What the well, okay. That'd be something I watch though. As long as there's some type of brutality. Sounds like Angela, dizzy fucking bitch. That's my boy. I love him. I actually was hoping he did not get turned in this movie, and of course he did. I love his car too. Man, I will say this, just like even like looking at this movie and like seeing a setting in the background, it just seems to me like the 80s were really the best time. It does. Honestly. It looked like such a fun time back in those days. And a lot of people tell me it was too. Yeah, you're not lying, Conrad. The little brother is a savage. He is. I like him a lot. Stooge. My boy Stooge. It's not far from here. So shut up and start walking. You guys need a hand? Sure do. See ya. Such a dick move. Such a dick move. Love it though. Love it. Chris says, I was alive. It was pretty carefree. It seems like that to me, man. I'm not going to lie. When I watch a lot of these 80s horror movies and stuff like that, I sometimes wish I grew up in that, like in that time, in that era. Wow. I'm not even going to lie. Being that obviously this is like updated and more modern, I guess, like and stuff like that. Like, wow. Like, that house looks even way cooler, like, when they pull up to it. That just looks way better now than obviously it did, like, back then, with all the remastering and shit they did to it. Man, that shit looks like a piece of artwork, honestly. Val says, "This movie is so typical 80s horror. Love it." Yeah, absolutely, I agree. Absolutely, 100% agree with that. Well, they pulled in. That is cool how you could hear the underground stream from, when he's using his doctors, his heart fucking thing, whatever you call that thing. I forget what you call those things. I do. I mean, I or a stethoscope. Yeah, the stethoscope shit. Yeah, that's what they call them. I just call it their fucking heart readers. That is pretty cool that you can fucking hear the water with that thing though from underneath the house. And in all honesty, Judy, the girl who plays Judy, she has that typical 1980s final girl look to her too. Sleepaway Camp. It is a classic, but that ending, fucking Craven set my ass up. He set my ass up smooth. Set me up smooth. I did not see that coming. Yes, Conrad, When a Stranger Calls from 1979. Yes, that the original. Yes, that was so good. I was very disappointed in the remake. I thought that they was gonna ramp up the intensity, being that was more modern, and they fucking butchered that movie. I was so disappointed. Definitely a waste of money going to the theater seeing that. Oh, you ain't that old though, Val. Yeah, I wish I was a teenager in the 80s like you were, Val. Seems like I said it was a fun time. Seems like everybody got along. It just seemed like a great it seems like one big ass party, a decade full of partying and meeting good friends and good people. Stooge. Love it. Oh man. I love the incorporation that they did with incorporating the 80s like real hard metal and rock into this movie. I thought it was a really perfect touch for the ambiance and the setting in that house. I thought that was a perfect touch for the score of this movie. And sleep away in the car, then she turns and reaches back. What you getting some tissues? Not true. Yeah, right, Conrad? I ain't gonna lie, I can't wait for my birthday stream. That's gonna be fun. You was right, Conrad. We're getting this party started. Nice. Good old strobe lights. That's vintage 80s for sure. Hell, in my opinion, I would love to like use them nowadays if I were to throw parties like I used to back in my teenage years. I wish back in my teenage years I would have used them even more. Would have been more fun. Would have added different layer to the ambiance. My boy just straight up going diss my girl Judy. Eh, have you idiots ever heard of Duracell? Oh my god. Good shit. Man, it is so crazy. Like to just me watching this, seeing Angela's evolution from this movie to the second one, like how much time passed and how much she grew up into this role and into this character. It's fucking insane. Like that's crazy. She does not get enough credit, for this franchise at all. Like I said, I even enjoyed the second and the third ones. Conrad, she freaky, yeah. This is exactly what we would have been doing on Halloween night back in the 80s. Breaking into the old creepy house and partying the night away. I know that's right. Well, if I was in that time, Val, if I was like, around your age then, I would have been partying right there with you. Uh-oh, here comes the draft. Be a man. Bucket stooge. My boy Raj, man. My boy Raj, he was the scaredest one of them all. Even the girls had more guts than Raj. But I give it to Raj though. He shit. He survived. You know what? What? I'm gonna have to. I forget the actress's name who plays Angela, but I'm gonna have to look up. I'm gonna look up her name, and I'm gonna actually get on IMDb.com, and I'm gonna try to reach out to her talent agent or to her email, or whatever, and see if I can bring her on for an interview. Another one I want to do is get a hold of is Tom Jones Jr., who played Loomis in Halloween Kills. But I would love to have her on the stream and we talk about this. She gets no love, at least in my opinion. That shit is so creepy how that shit went black. Oh, there it is, the devil. Fucking Steve. There's Sal wearing a stupid mask. I wasn't wearing my mask. Oh, that's even worse. They always shit on Sal. That's right, Val. That's right. Amelia Kincaid. That is right. You're right. That is right. That's right. Amelia Kincaid. Yes. Thank you. Thank you both, you and Conrad. I appreciate that. Hey, what's going on, Tina? Thank you for joining in. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm too lazy to turn on my TV. Hey, it's okay. You know what I mean? Just if you want to hang out in the chats and talk, hey, that's fine and dandy too. Appreciate you showing in. Yes, they are, Conrad. They're coming out to play now. They don't summon them. They woke them up. I love how you can hear it coming too, like the grunts of the demon. You hear the. I love that. Man, that fucking thing is coming in fast, coming in hot. There it is. There's the draft. Who cut the cheese? PU. Stooge must be wearing his mom's dirty panties again. Oh my god. Oh, I love it. Oh man. Oh man. Between Stooge and Sal, I don't know. Oh man. They was definitely the comic relief this movie needed. It's funny though, too. Angela tried to actually warn him before she got turned and everything. She tried to tell him that the chill, the draft, and everything, the smell was all signs of demonic infestation. She actually tried to warn him, and he laughed in her face. Except for Raj. That's right, Raj. That's right, Raj. Fuck all that. That's right, Raj. My boy said my dad was a Christian. He said, and I know better than be fooling around with this stuff. This is a demonic house. I'm getting out now. Hmm. You can't really believe this place is possessed. Nah, just repossessed. Mm. Or tonight anyway. Mm. She wasn't lying. You fucking stooge. Uh. Mm. Damn. I don't care if you're a chicken shit. Just remember to open the gate before you drive through it. Woo! Oh, okay. So Tina, so I never get to ask this, but favorite movie. My favorite movie of all time is Halloween, bar none. Just Halloween '78. That's my number one for sure. That's my shit. Love Halloween. Love the whole this the entity of evil being trapped inside the shape of a man, and then you have the doctor, the psychiatrist, who's trying to do everything in his power to stop him from being not only let loose, but from being able to kill again. Just that dynamic and that storytelling in '78, along with the score, along with the mask, along with the performance of Jamie Lee Curtis and the other actors in that movie. Just that's for me. That's me number one all time, bar none. What is your favorite scary movie, Tina? See, I didn't even get full into my Ghostface voice. You'll have to catch me on a different night when I'm really feeling like hiking it up. Oh, now Angela's possessed. See, and a lot of people who probably, who will be watching this movie for the first time will probably be like, oh, well, why is like Angela like not like the main demon now in this whole franchise? Like, why is it only her? Like, why is it all about her? Well, it was because this was her party. Obviously, if it wasn't for her, they wouldn't even be there right now. So that's why she was chosen to be the leader. It's just like, her friend Suzanne said, who was possessed by the demon. It's your party, hun. You ain't going anywhere. In all honesty, though, I don't think they could have picked a better person to play Angela and to be like the head of the demons. I don't think they could have picked anybody better than Amelia Kincaid, in all honesty. That's just my opinion. She she was amazing in this, the second and the third. Like, and I still enjoy, this is actually one of the trilogies, like franchises I actually really enjoyed. Like a lot of people say that Scream was like the most consistent franchise in terms of putting out good movies and staying consistent. I'm not saying I disagree with that, but this trilogy does not get enough credit, in my opinion. I enjoyed every single one of these movies. Oh, Stooge, it's about that time, pal. Okay. Get some of these chats. Tina, favorite for me, Scream. That's my number two. So I can't be mad at you for that being number one. Scream is amazing. I love the Scream franchise as well. It is. I do. Love me some Nev Campbell for sure. But Scream as a franchise, love it. Love it as a whole. Definitely very, very consistent with putting out good movies. I love Halloween too. Yes, they're both classics in all honesty. You can't go wrong with either one of those, especially the original movies, 78 and 96 Scream. You can't go wrong with either one of those movies. Like in terms of making a flawless horror movie, you look at those two, and that to me is it. Yes, I agree, though, Conrad. Heather Langenkamp was a phenomenal Final Girl. Definitely for sure. Tina, what do you mean by adding someone like or adding someone like to your channel or like to like your Instagram or something like that? If you need help, just let us know. I might whatever it is, I might be able to help you with that. Just hold me. My boy was trying to get them cheeks. My boy was not happy at all. Just hold me. Straight gave him blue balls. Mm. Rod's trying to find the gate. Nope, she's gone. Always loved Raj. I always loved Raj's like his mannerisms and his face for like he always had that oh shit. Like if oh shit was a person, it would be Raj. Especially with how his facial and his body mannerisms just like he be getting shook as hell, and I love it. Roger, Roger, Roger. Tina says I'm not too techie. Hey, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't that techie either when I started doing this and stuff, but along the way you learn in all honesty, if you really want to take the time to and stuff. But I said, "What are you eating?" Sorry, I got long nails. No, you're good. I was eating a hot pocket. I still have some of it left. I haven't finished it yet. Yeah, Tina, you will learn real quick. I love hot pockets. I have one at least almost every time before I go on live. Just do love hot pockets. Pepperoni. I love ham too. Don't get me wrong, but pepperoni. Fry that bad boy up in the oven, get it crispy. Oh my god. Don't get me wrong, microwave is still okay, especially if you want it quick, if you're in a rush. But if you're at home and you ain't got nowhere to be, put that bad boy in the oven. It's just that much better. Oh, poor Judy. I feel for you, girl. Jay's a dick. Jay's an asshole. You should have never went. You should have never dated him. Should have dated Sal. Sal was a cool one. Yep. Here we go. Yep. She's turning. Oh, I will say this though. Now that I'm obviously it's been remastered and obviously I'm older and even from when, when I watched it during the pandemic, I wasn't really looking for like details or small details or anything. The special effects was actually a lot better, than a lot of 80s special effects, in my opinion. Like the transforming and all that stuff, it's actually a lot better than what I even initially thought. I am from Pennsylvania. I'm from York, Pennsylvania, to be exact. And it is 11:34 here. So yeah, I'm an hour and 4 minutes ahead. In Texas, what part of Texas, Tina? Uh-oh. Here goes Angela about to be on her rock star shit. The Day of Atonement is at hand. Sal, get out of there, bro. Whew. In all honesty, this scene right here where she's by the fire and she's about to start dancing to that, and to the music and all that shit. I think, in all honesty, for me, this is the creepiest part of this entire movie for me because you hear the music start speaking in tongues. She starts to like it starts to move faster. Like it just to me, that was this scene was really, really creepy. She's crawling on the floor and shit. Music just cuts on out of nowhere. Sal's looking like what the fuck, like I am. Angela's doing some type of contortment in front of the fire. Oh man. Damn. Angela is a bad bitch though. Amelia Kincaid was bad in her prime. I ain't even gonna lie. She had it for sure. Bloomsburg, look at I live in a tiny town of 400 people. And that I'm pretty sure Texas Chainsaw Massacre was about this town. Oh, wow. That's interesting. You said Bloomsburg. Okay, so Bloomsburg. I'm gonna have to look that up. Now you got me wanting to do some research to see if that's where Texas Chainsaw really happened, like, or see if it was close by. That sounds like some Texas Chainsaw shit. Small town. Shit is just it's fucking creeping me out, man. And then the strobe lights, like it's just everything. This whole scene is perfect for creepiness. In all honesty, you got the strobe lights going. You got the metal music speaking in tongues. You got her fucking contorting all types of fucking dance moves. Like this scene was perfectly constructed well, in my opinion. Now that I'm like rewatching this scene was perfect. That's right. She is acting really fucking weird, Sal. And Stooge is just like, I don't care. I want a piece. You about to get a big old piece, Stooge. Stooge. Oh my god. Damn. Well, Stooge, all good things must come to an end, buddy. Sorry to see you go, my friend. It was fun. It was fun while it lasted. Fucking Stooge. Hey, Tina, no, I mean, hey, listen, me personally, I wasn't really a fan of it. I was a fan of the guy who did play Leatherface. I thought he did a great job. I wasn't a fan of the movie itself, but hey, that's your opinion. You know, some people like it, some people are in the middle, some people hate it. You know what I mean? You're entitled to your opinion. You know what I mean? I'm not here to judge you. If you liked it, that's what's up. As long as if it's enjoyable for you, you know what I mean? That's what matters. Mm. The definition of cat cut your tongue. Cat cut your tongue. Mm. Oh, and this is when I think did she put the lipstick in her titty? Yep, this is it. I think this is it. I'm pretty sure. Yep. Yep. This is when she puts the lipstick in her titty. She just ripped that shit up. Yep. So what I'm saying, like, even like that's like the special effects in this movie, especially now that I'm like rewatching it and I'm like actually paying attention to certain details. That's this for the 80s movie. The special effects was actually a lot better than what I originally thought it was. They did a really good job with the special effects. Yep, there it is. Tina says, "I think it fit with the times." I mean, I'm not gonna say in terms of like modernness, it didn't. I agree with that. It did fit with the times in terms of modernness. The thing for me, what didn't settle right is that it mimicked too much of Halloween 2018 with Sally Hardesty being too much like Laurie Strode, in my opinion. Like, and then even not even because they barely gave her any runtime. So I felt like if you were gonna make that type of movie where you kind of was going to mimic an homage Halloween a little bit, you could at least gave the woman a little bit more runtime. Because then, as soon as she did run into Leatherface, she barely did anything, and she got killed off immediately. So, and that for me, that's what didn't sit right. Now the kills and the guy who played Leatherface, I thought he did a great job. Now, Tina, I will say this though. I don't know if you ever go to any cons or if you have any plans to go to any future cons. But being that you do like this new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I will give you a heads up. A few other content creators went to the Texas Frightmare, and they said that the new guy who does play Leatherface, that he was kind of unapproachable. Like they kind of saw some stuff. Like basically, if any fan that liked the original over this one and didn't really like this one, and they mentioned that, like they told him how they felt or whatever, told him how they felt. If they even if they were waiting in line for him for how long, he was just basically giving them the vibe like, oh, okay, well you can leave, like, you know what I mean? So just a heads up, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. I heard he's not the most approachable guy, but you know, that's glad. Hey, I'm glad you liked the movie. You know what I mean? I wish I could have enjoyed it as much as you did. Honestly, you know, I just too much mimicking Halloween 2018 for me. Yeah, like yeah, she did. Like yeah, she just didn't even last long though, too. So and I just don't feel like she shouldn't have even been put in a movie. You know what I mean? If you were going to take a new direction on, Texas Chainsaw Massacre and follow a whole new group of characters, we could have done with it. We did without her the whole movie basically up until the end. So she didn't even need to be in it. This is true, Val. That is true. You're not lying about this movie because they didn't take the easy way out, didn't have CGI back then. That is true. That is very, very true. But like Evil Dead, for instance, look how campy their makeup looked. You know what I mean? That you can tell that it was fake. You know what I mean? Now that I go back and watch this movie, the special effects and makeup and transformation isn't as campy and fake looking as I initially thought. Like this is actually really, really good for the time it was in, for the 80s. You know what I mean? That's why I feel that way, because when I look at this movie and I look at Evil Dead is so campy. You can even see the makeup, like you can see the makeup like falling off the neck, like it's loose. You know what I mean? It's like it was another mask over some of them. Like it just the Evil Dead, original one, the makeup and special effects didn't really sit well with me. I liked the movie, didn't like the special effects. Now that I'm rewatching this now, I have a lot more appreciation for the special effects. Like this is really well done for a 1988 movie. Like down to a T, the transformations, the multiple transformations at that. No, no, holy shit. Oh, bye bye, doctor. Tina says everything from the 80s was dope, including me. Oh, that's what's up. Favorite character of any Halloween movie? Dr. Loomis. This is why I named this channel after his line. Love Dr. Loomis's character. In all honesty, Tina, like once I grow this channel and get to where I want to go and stuff, I do eventually want to start doing fan films and or maybe like short series and stuff like that. I would love to dabble in just to the character of Loomis, like Dr. Loomis. Like we have to obviously think before there was Michael Myers, he had other patients. You know what I mean? So it would be nice to maybe, you know, maybe delve into that. You know what I mean? Maybe delve into some of those previous patients and then get to Michael. You know what I mean? Like I have some ideas. I have some ideas for sure. But Dr. Loomis, I lived in California. I was a security guard for celebrities. Don't laugh. Yes, I'm 5'2" and maybe 120 pounds. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. I watch UFC. You know what I mean? And you see those chicks who are about your size, they could take out men. That don't mean shit. You know what I mean? If you know what the fuck you're doing and shit, which are if you know how to defend yourself, you could take anybody out. We're all human. Shit, I could be 7 to 10 inches taller than you. All you got to do is kick me in my fucking kneecap the right way, and I'm done. And that goes for anybody. Like, you know what I mean? So, but that's what's up though. So, what were some of the celebrities that you were a security guard to? Was you security to Nev? What about Denzel? I love Busta and Loomis. See, I hate Halloween Resurrection. I love Busta Rhymes. Don't get me wrong. Love Busta Rhymes. But in a real Halloween movie, he dies off instance. He doesn't get any word off. He's not sitting there telling Michael Myers, scoot, skedaddle, get the fuck out of Dodge. Not happening. Just not happening. It was good for comedy. It was good for a good, memorable moment to laugh at years later. But I hate Resurrection. Ugh, what a passion. Buster was entertaining in that movie, though. Damn. Oh, shit's really hitting the fan now. Angela's stalking the hallways. I love how she just like glides through the hallways. You should interview Marge from A Nightmare on Elm Street, Nancy's mom. She's still alive, Conrad. Is she still like is she still alive and well? We'll have to look into that. Trust me, I got a lot of people I would like to interview. I did send out a message to Nancy Ann. I haven't got back to her yet. I sent one out to somebody else I sent one out to. Megan Follows, who plays in Silver Bullet as Janie, Marty's sister. I have not got a response yet, but I'm patient. You know what I mean? Never know. You know, these are busy people. You know what I mean? Who's to say they're not booked right now? And then when they're not booked, maybe they will come on the channel. I'm hoping. I really am. I really want to get Tom Jones Jr. on the channel. I do. He's the closest thing we've ever gotten to Donald Pleasance. And in all honesty, as a Dr. Loomis fan, he's part of the Loomis family, in my opinion. Now, he's just as much Dr. Loomis as Donald Pleasance is. You know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, like the way they did the makeup in that movie for kills with him, and he to me already looks like Donald Pleasance already for mostly anyway. but the extra added makeup, nothing short of spectacular. Run, run, Judy, run, get out. I wish Sal and I wish Stooge would have lived. Maybe that would have been asking for too many people to, survive this movie. But I just really enjoyed their characters. Out of everybody outside of, the two who survived, because I like Judy, I did. But to me, if I'd have to say outside of Angela being my favorite character, because she's just the creme de la creme of the whole franchise, I love her character even before she gets turned. I thought, what I mean? She's definitely relatable, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. But I have to say, outside of Angela, it would have to be Sal and Stooge for me. I really like Sal and Stooge because even though Sal was a prick at certain times in this movie, you start to obviously see, that he does have a caring side and stuff like that. He's not always a prick. He actually does have some humanity in him. Stooge was just Stooge. He was fucking hilarious. Oh, that's a good question. And Conrad, I agree to an extent. Jennifer's Body is an underrated horror film. I mean, I liked it. I don't know. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would really put it underrated, but it was good for what it was. I will say that. I enjoyed it. I did. I enjoyed it a lot. Wow, Val, that's really true. Alice in Demonland. Ain't that the truth? Tina, favorite Halloween kill ever? Hmm, that is a good question. I'd have to go Cameron in Halloween kills. I just there's just it's just something about that kill. For the simple fact is, like, how when you're going to a fight with somebody, and sometimes you use certain slang terminology, like "I'm gonna fuck you up" or "I'm gonna break you the fuck up." You know what I mean? If I see you, if I fight you, that's what Michael did to Cameron. He broke that kid the fuck up. Like, oh my god, like that was brutal. That was to me that was my favorite and most that was the most brutal kill I think in the entire franchise. You know what I mean? The one honestly before that, there was one before that, and it was in 18, the night when he slammed the neighbor's head on the count on the ledge and then stuck the knife through her neck and then just tossed her. Up until that point, that was my favorite kill, but the Cameron kill to me is just the best. That's my favorite. Like he broke him the fuck up. Like every which way. Left, right, folded him, unfolded him. He just broke that kid up. And I as much as I liked Cameron in Halloween Kills, I started to like him a lot. As much as I did start to like him, you know what I mean? Like Oh shit. Got her ass real quick. Oh, sorry, Sal. But to go back to your question and to finish up on that, Tina, yeah, he just broke that kid the fuck up. And I just don't think you can top that type of kill, in all honesty, in my opinion. Like that was gnarly. That was a gnarly, gnarly kill. And I can't think of any other kill that might trump that, honestly, in terms of brutality and just in terms of visual, how it looked. Okay, Conrad. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, okay. I'll send a message out on IMDb Pro, either to her email account, whatever information they have. It's either going to be her email or her talent agent. That fall was so over exaggerated. Oh no, I agree. I agree, Conrad. They're definitely iconic. You know what I mean? They're definitely iconic. I love those kills as well. But for me, man, just Cameron, he got the worst. In my opinion, he just got the worst out of everybody. Like, bro, broke him the fuck up. Like, man, like, vroom, 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 vroom. Like he every which way he destroyed that kid. Like, but I agree with you. Bob England's death in Halloween is iconic. And now Roger and Judy are in the house being chased down the hallway by Angela. And we are about to get to the climax of the movie because now they're in the basement. I always respected this scene. I always respected this scene when they locked themselves in the basement, Roger and Judy, and they're just sitting there for a couple seconds and they just start laughing. They just start laughing. You know what I mean? And then Raj obviously starts to cry. But I feel like in that moment, you know what I mean? To some degree, as scared as you are, you're not going to be able to help but laugh at some point because it's like, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? Like, why is this happening? But at the same time, like, it's crazy. It's kind of an adrenaline rush when you think about it, especially if you're fucking being chased by a killer or a demon, whatever, and shit like that. Like, listen, one thing Buster said in Resurrection that I did kind of agree with. He said when he was talking to Sarah, he said fear is good. Fear is giving you the feeling of feeling alive. In that moment, being that they're still obviously alive as well. You know, they escaped for the time being and stuff. In that moment, I feel like they felt like they're alive. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's why they started to laugh like that. Oh, absolutely not. You guys know the picture of Bob and Kills in Bob and Kills they show on TV is actually the high school picture of the dude who plays Saul and Better Call Saul. Yes, yes. Now I had to think for a second, Val. Yes, his real name is Bob Oderick or something like that. I forget. I can't get his last name. I can't get his last name right, but I know Bob Odenkirk. Odenkirk. Got it. Bob Odenkirk. Yes. Yes. That's they used his high school picture when he was younger. I thought that was pretty amazing as well. Cool for him to let them use his picture like that. I'm sure he got a nice chunk of change for it too. Oh, oh, we're in the final act and they're beating down that door trying to get in there. Open the door, Roger. We would never want to hurt a nice little boy like you. Yep. So true. Halloween night, the one night of the year the demons don't have to go back to hell. Yep. Hmm? And then the pin drops. Oh yeah. Love it. I love how, oh, we can just they won't go they won't they don't want to go to hell, so we'll just sit here and wait till the morning. Raj, oh yeah, yeah, I think you're right. And here it goes. The fucking magic starts to happen, the fucking bolts start to come off. Oh yeah, smart plan to just stay in the house until dawn. Oh, come on, Raj, though. You gotta get up and help the girl, man. Stop being a bitch. Here we go. Get the lighter. Get it work. Get it to work. Boom! There we go. There goes Stooge. And, oh, perfect timing. Light them motherfuckers up. Burn them to a crisp. Send them back to hell. Yep, that is right, Val. They couldn't find the original actor. Yeah, I don't recall. I have to go back and look at that. That's a good question, Conrad, because I don't remember seeing Annie's picture up there neither. From like thinking about it now in my head, I'd have to go back and watch Kills. But yeah, I don't remember that. I don't remember Annie's picture being up there. That is true. That is very, very true. Can't get out. We can't get out. Yo, I'm gonna say this, man. Roger's a real piece of shit. That girl done saved his life and everything. You know, Jay done pop up behind her, you know what I mean, a demon and shit. And Raj just up and dip on it. Like, that don't sit well with me. That's fucked up. Raj a little bitch. For real, man. That is a cool ass shot though of basically half burnt Angela. You know what I mean? Walking like that and shit. I like that shot. I like that shot a lot. That's great makeup. Roger, real piece of shit, man. I mean, I get it. You trying to survive the night and you trying to get out of there and stuff, but damn, man, like I said, Judy saved your life. You gotta try to get her out of there too. Can't just keep fucking abandoning her and shit. Roger. Always love how she said his name. Here we go. Trying to get over that wall. Here comes burnt ass stooge. I love how because obviously they was just burnt up and shit. I love how he's hot enough. Like when he puts his hand on out Judy's leg or whatever, it burns the shit out of her too. Burns her flesh up. Judy, Roger, where you going? The party's just begun. Like I said, Roger, man, Roger's a piece of shit, man. About time, Raj. About time you did the right thing, you fucking asshole. Been fucking calling for it like the last 15, 20 minutes. Fucking leaving that poor girl to die the whole time. Now you finally decide to grow some balls and help her out. What's funny, Val, that you say this comment, right? I was thinking about this movie when I was just thinking about this shit. If you think about it, women ruled the night. If you think about it, Angela obviously was, the lead demon, etc. And if you think about it in terms of the final two characters, Judy was the one to really take action. Like Raj was being a little bitch, like dead serious. So, I mean, in this instance, yeah, I mean, I had to agree with you. You know what I mean? Like for sure. And that's what was frustrating about with Roger's character to me. It's like he just kept leaving her and kept leaving her. I'm just like, you can't do that to somebody who saved your life. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't. Like, man up. I mean, I give it to him. He kind of made up for it at the end by going back to get her, but still, it just, he was a bitch. uh, they survived though. Got to give it to him. Tina, you have a nice night. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. I will definitely catch you the next time, hopefully. I'll be going live again tomorrow night for Throwback Thursday. And have a nice night, Tina. Thank you again for stopping in. I appreciate it. Definitely nice chatting it up with you. This ending is so wild. Definitely wouldn't have seen this, and I don't think anybody saw this type of ending coming. Mm, mm. Did him dirty. Did him dirty. Then says happy Halloween after it. Love it. And that is the end of the movie. Man, I'm glad you mentioned this, Val. I'm glad that you made me come to my senses and realize that I was leaving this out because this movie is definitely a really good movie. It's really underrated for sure. Definitely. Like just like even watching it now, like here on the stream with you guys and doing this like kind of commentary and stuff like that, like it just it makes it that much more endurable. It's like I watched it again for the first time. In all honesty, like and just like I said, pointing out stuff that I didn't like really maybe appreciate before in terms of like the special effects and stuff like I said, I mean before like just looked at it as like a normal 80s type special effects. You know what I mean? But now that I'm rewatching it again, it's like, no, this is actually better than a lot of 80s special effects in horror movies, especially like I said, Evil Dead. Like they did a really, really good job with the transforming, everything. Everything, it didn't look sloppy, even when they got burnt up and stuff. Like they didn't look sloppy. It didn't look like 80-ish fake. It actually looked authentic. You know what I mean? So, like, definitely, I'm glad we watched this movie tonight or whatever because there's definitely some things, you know what I mean, that obviously I feel like I wasn't appreciating even before. You know what I mean? As well as like with certain characters, like I just mentioned to you about basically the women ruled the night. Angela was chosen to be, the demon, the one to, lead the clan. They could have chose, what's his name? Stooge. They could have chose Roger. They could have chose Sal. They could have chose Jay. They didn't. They chose a woman, obviously, to be the lead, and also because it was Angela's party. You know what I mean? But also, like I said, Judy, in terms of really getting it done to survive instead of just putting her hands over her ears and like Roger was, like she stepped up and was able to find a way to not only keep them alive long enough, you know what I mean, to where they can make it towards the front again, and then obviously Roger goes through the window, and then she follows after him. But to find a way to get over that wall because obviously that gate wasn't there no more. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. So, like I said, this has always been one of my favorites. Underrated, very, very underrated. When you brought this up, Val, like you hit that on the head. This is a really underrated movie, and honestly, a really underrated franchise as a whole. This franchise does not get any love, and I don't understand why. Because I think it's really well done in all three of the movies. You know what I mean? Like they didn't shy away from what the concept of what this like what it was supposed to be. And they didn't shy away from the concept of what Angela was supposed to be. And they let her, be like they let her basically have free reign. I feel like with Amelia Kincaid with what she wanted to do with that character, I feel like they did a good job letting her flush that out. No CGI back then. Yeah, absolutely. They had to actually showcase their talent. And I have to say, after rewatching it, even like I said, I watched it in 2020 in the pandemic. Just things, especially now that I'm like content creating, I didn't appreciate then. I see and I appreciate now, especially because I'm like really like honing in on like, all right, there's certain things I can be paying attention to, and that's one of the things that really stuck out to me was, man, the special effects is way better than I thought and originally visioned it to be. That's right, Conrad. Val did make it happen for sure. I mean, I'm so glad she did because like I said, I cannot believe when I was giving up my list of most underrated movies. You know what I mean? Maybe the reason why I did forget that this could be an underrated movie is because I like it so much. And I think we tend to do that with certain movies that we really like so much. We tend to forget that it's actually really underrated to everybody else in the general public. You know what I mean? But this franchise as a whole was really, really good. Really, really good in my opinion. But this one, the first one was always the best. Bar none, the original, none of the other two tops the original. Like the other two, I like two and three. Still doesn't top this. This is this is the best one. And I know they did the remake in what was it, 2009, 2010 with Shannon Elizabeth. I didn't want to watch it and I shied away from it for so long. And then one time I saw it was going to be on like HBO, whatever, and stuff like that. And I tried to give it a chance, and I did. I watched the whole movie, and I wanted to puke. I really did. I was so mad with how they did that remake, and that's why just certain movies doesn't need remade. And if you are gonna remake it, get somebody who's legit. You know what I mean? Like they obviously went straight to DVD for a reason. You know what I mean? Like if there is ever going to be another Night of the Demons like reboot, remake, I'd like to see somebody like a James Wan maybe take over it. Um, who else? Who else deals with like paranormal movies? Some of these paranormal directors and stuff like that. Like just somebody who knows, this type of horror movie, who would know what to do with it, and not only be serious with it, but add the element of comedy, add the element of cheesiness to it. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what, in my honest opinion, that's what captured the heart and soul of this movie is that you felt the intense moments, but even like in that scene with Judy and Roger when they started to laugh for those few seconds, like this was also a very funny movie. It was. It had its very funny moments, especially Stooge, the Stooge character, fucking hilarious from the time he came on the screen. Like this was a really well written very underrated horror comedy movie. Would I like to see it get another crack at a reboot? Yes, but only if somebody's going to spend the love, the time, and the money into it. If it's gonna be a straight DVD release or something like that, I don't even want to bother with it. Give me somebody who wants to take it seriously, who really cares about it. You know what I mean? And put some money behind it and take it to the big screen. And let's start this thing all over again. Because I really love this original one. And I like all three. I agree, Val. All three. Yes, I like all three. The original's the best, but all three were good. In terms of like I said, everybody talks about, like I said, this consistency of screen. If people would actually, if you're anybody out there that's new watching the stream, whatever, or ends up watching the stream, on a replay, whatever, you run across it, whatever, take a look at Night of the Demons 1, 2, and 3, and tell me you don't see a level of consistency that you would appreciate in a horror franchise. I do. It is consistent to what it's supposed to be, which is a fun-filled horror comedy about demons ruling the one night of the year that they can rule, which is Halloween night. I mean, like, I really hope somebody comes along with a good budget that cares, that would show some love to this movie and this franchise, because Amelia Kincaid and just the franchise as a whole don't get enough credit, in all honesty. And now that we're, talking about this and stuff like that and talking about Amelia Kincaid, she's another one I'm gonna try to reach out to and see if I can end up getting an interview here on the channel and stuff like. So this is why I like doing stuff like this, guys, and doing watch parties and stuff like that. Because even movies like you maybe haven't seen in a while, this and that, certain characters you grow attached to. And then when you obviously do content creating and stuff, you want to, talk to them and see if you can interview them and see if they'd be willing to come on. That would be really nice to have Amelia Kincaid come on. In all honesty, that really would, because she is so underrated. She gets no credit, in my opinion, like that in the horror genre. Nobody really talks about her, and nobody really talks about this franchise. And it's a travesty. It's a really good, underrated franchise. I love this franchise. All three movies were really, I want to say really good, but this one was really good. The other two were good. They were good sequels, especially, we talk about not a lot of sequels, surpass the originals or even come close. You know what I mean? Those were pretty good sequels. They weren't better than the original, didn't surpass the original, but those were really solid sequels. And anybody that comes across the stream, any new viewers or whatever, take a look at Night of the Demons 1, 2, and 3 if you haven't. And honestly, it's a very underrated franchise for sure. And Val, thank you again for, you know, making me smack my damn self in the face and realize and come to my senses and talk about this movie and do this watch party, because I mean this is one of my faves too. Like, I love this original Night of the Demons. There's just so many fun-filled moments in this movie and so many tense moments in this movie as well. And like I said, now that like I'm looking at it again, I appreciate the special effects so much. The score, like I said, that opening score and then the artwork, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, the visual effects, with the graveyard, how they did that up. To me, that is one of the most underrated openings to a horror movie ever. Like that, like opening credits, music hitting, all that. That is one of the most underrated opening credit scenes ever, in my opinion. Like, you've seen it from the outset. I'm bopping. That had that score. That score is amazing, and makes it like, because I'm gonna put it this way. It's okay. So it's called Demon Night. It's based around Halloween night. You know it's gonna be a big party. You know what I mean? So what do they do in the beginning of the movie? They set the tone with the type of score and the type of beat that makes you want to move. It gets you ready. It gets you ready for a party. You know what I mean? Like, I love that opening scene score. That shit is fire. It is so fire. And if they do a remake, if they ever do a remake and somebody puts the budget and the love and the care behind it, You gotta give me an opening scene credit with that score and with some type of visual effects that reminisces the original. You have to give that to me. You just do. I have to see that. That I could rewatch that opening scene time like opening scene credits in the beginning of this movie when they're going through the names and the music's hitting. I could watch that over and over and over again and then don't even have to watch the rest of the movie, even though I love it. That opening is just mm, world class for sure, world class. See what you guys are saying here. Yes, yes, Val. Come out. Excuse me. Whew. Knew that was coming out. Anticipated that one. Conrad says, "I'm glad she did too." Hell yeah, man! Like I'm really glad she did, honestly, because like I said, even this is why I wanted to do the watch party because even after the stream and even the day after, I'm like, I can't fucking believe I forgot about Night of the fucking Demons. Like that shit ate me. I ain't even gonna lie, that shit was eating at me. It was bothering me. That did not sit well with me because this is one of my favorites, and being that it's one of my favorites, I feel really stupid. I feel really stupid that I forgot about this movie. Like, how could I have? But it happens, especially when you're going, when you're checking out all these other movies. There's just so much content and so much other movies. And especially with what we've been doing in terms of talking about Halloween a lot, Scream a lot, you tend to forget, and Chucky and Jason, you tend to forget about these type of movies that are really, really underrated. You do. Even if they are one of your favorites. If you are like doing content creating and you got so much shit on your mind in terms of what you want to do and what direction you want to take your channel and stuff, like you will forget about certain favorites. You just will. You know what I mean? But thank you again, Val, for rectifying that mistake for me. I greatly appreciate it because this movie is just mwah, and I'm glad I got to enjoy it here on the channel with you and Conrad, Tina, Craven stopped by for a few seconds. You know what I mean? I know he didn't get to stay and watch because he was doing his stream and stuff like that. Necessary stopped by. Just all you guys who stopped by just to even show a little bit of love. Thank you for stopping in and hanging out with me during this time. I greatly appreciate it. This is my shit. You know what I mean? I'm glad I got to, watch it here with you guys and share opinions and shit. It did. It really did because, like I said, this is one of my favorites. You know what I mean? Outside of Halloween and the casual Friday the 13th and stuff like that, growing up as a kid, this like if it wasn't Halloween, if it wasn't Friday the 13th, if it wasn't Chucky, if it wasn't Leprechaun, if it wasn't Freddy, if it wasn't Leatherface, this was my shit. In all honesty, like this was my shit. I was always watching this. Like, so yeah, it fucking made me it burned a hole in my heart knowing that I fucking forgot about this movie because I love this movie that much. Like it's that good and it's that underrated. And it shouldn't be underrated. It should be and I mean, I think now more than ever, the horror community does see it as a classic, but it deserves a lot more love than it ever has gotten, in all honesty. It deserves more love than it gets. It's a really well-crafted movie. It really is, and it's fun. But yeah, bothered the shit out of me, Val. It did. It really did. Because that's my childhood too, you know what I mean? And I'll be honest, like for the most part, I have like elephant man memory. Like I can tell you shit from when I was like 2, 3, 4 years old. I swear. You know what I mean? But then, like, there's certain instances you forget about shit, and this was one of those instances, and it just bothered me because this was part of my childhood, and I love this movie. Hell yeah, comrade! It is really good. It's a really good movie. It's a really well crafted movie, and it's fun. What I love about it it didn't delve into why these demons are here all like that. It gave you a simple storyline. This is the one night of the year they don't have to go back to hell. So this is why they're trying to, stay loose and not go back to hell because it's Halloween night. This is the one night of the year they don't have to. You know what I mean? So I loved it. And it was just fun. It's like from the outset, it was just fun. Let's have fun with this movie and do our thing. I feel like it was so well crafted. So well crafted. Like, man, like I said, I do hope we get a remake. I just hope if we get a remake, it's somebody, I honestly want a known director in the paranormal, somebody who's known for making good paranormal movies. That's number one. And I want them to have the budget. I want them to have the budget and the care and the passion behind this. Because if we're just going to get another straight to DVD bullshit movie, I don't want to watch it. I don't. It's just like, I don't know if you guys know this. They're redoing another Children of the Corn. And they're doing the same thing, what they did with Night of the Demons 2009. They're basically just straight to DVD. There's no love behind it. It's just not. That's another franchise I wish somebody would come along, put the damn budget behind it, and be like, I'm a fan of this franchise. I want to give you guys a solid reboot. You know what I mean? Hey, who knows? Maybe someday I might have to step the fuck up and do it. Honestly, you know what I mean? If we don't get any of these type of reboots that I'm talking about, hey, maybe this is something I can do once I get better at once I get better at my directorial skills and working a camera and having a crew and stuff like that. I wouldn't be opposed. You know what I mean? At all. Because in all honesty, I will say this in terms of especially movies like this, I honestly don't think somebody's going to come along and want to spend a budget to get behind this franchise for some odd reason. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I just feel like if somebody does want to bring this franchise back, they're just going to want to do it straight to DVD. And I just no. Give me a budget, give me a decent director, if not a great director, and let's throw some fucking love and passion behind this bad boy and get this shit started all over again. And let's have some fucking fun. Hey, what's up, Tina? Back again. Hey, I can't sleep. Hey, it's all good. It's all right. You know what I mean? We're night owls anyway, so it's all good. Yes, Val, that's perfectly well said. I love that it's a great movie done in the simplest way. Absolutely. Yes. Nothing overdone. Right. Nothing overdone. Got right to the story. Exactly. Exactly. And not only that, you got right to the comedy too. You got right to the comedy. That's another thing I really appreciated about this movie. Is from the outset, it got right to the comedy. Like, even though we know this is going to be a scary movie, they obviously it's a horror comedy. They also did a really good job of planting the comedy in early instead of later. I appreciated that. I did. Always, like I said, one of my favorite scenes in cinema history. Sal rolling up on old man with the rat, and my boy says, "You son of a bitch." I love it. Oh my god, it's moments like that. You know what I mean? Especially as a kid, because I've always was one of those kids that if I hear somebody cuss, right? It's not the cuss word that makes me laugh. It's the way they express themselves while they're saying it. You know what I mean? So just him, like just like an old man would do. In all honesty, you son of a bitch. You know what I mean? Like an old grumpy old man. Like that was just authentic and classic to me, and I really appreciate that scene so much. I do because it's fucking hilarious in my opinion. You know what I mean? And this movie, like Val said, is just not overdone. It's really well done in a simple way. Nothing crazy to it, and they didn't have to make it crazy. and some money. Yes, yes, some money. Like I hope they put some fucking money behind this movie. I thank you. I would love that. Like, oh my god, Lee Winnell and James Wan to take on this franchise. Oh man, I'm envisioning this, and it looks so beautiful. It looks so beautiful, so gory, so funny, a beautiful time. Oh man, and imagine the special effects too. Man, that don't get me started, man. I'm a big fan of James Wan and Lee Winnell. I love their work. Love their work. Especially James Wan. That guy's a fucking mastermind, man. Honestly. I I always respect and appreciate the fact they shot that first Saw movie in 19 days. 19 days. That entire first Saw movie shot in 19 days. That's insane. You don't you don't get that often. You don't. When a movie, especially when you look at how well crafted the first Saw was, bro. I mean, think about this. They literally, with how well crafted that original Saw was, they shot it in basically 3 weeks' time. That's nuts. That don't happen. That doesn't happen, especially in horror movies, especially in horror movies like Saw that has an extended story. That just never happens. But these guys can make it happen because they're that fucking talented. And I would love to see them. Oh my god, book James Wan and Lee Winnell for two franchises for me: Nightmare on Elm Street and Night of the Demons franchise. You give me that. If that were to ever happen, I'd have to do something really special on the channel. I'd have to do I have to do some type of celebratory stream, but I have to go all out. Honestly, I would. I would have to go all out and do something special for you guys. Do something fun. Honestly, man, a motherfucker could dream. Man, a motherfucker can dream, guys. Like, man, James Wan and Lee Winnell, Night of the Demons franchise, and Nightmare on Elm Street. Scorched Earth. It's going down. Yes, the typical neighborhood grumpy old asshole. Yes, and that's why I love it. That's why I love it because it's so relatable. That's why I love it. It's so relatable. That scene is so relatable. Love it. Oh man, hell yes, really awesome choices. Those would be the men for the job. Because there's one thing, there's two things that they would bring to the table other than their brilliant minds. Is they would bring the bag, they bring the budget, but they bring the passion. That's the most important thing. They would bring the passion behind it. Got ready to have me done. I'm telling you, man, like, I'm sorry, that shit's like euphoric to me. Like, like, just thinking about that, it's euphoric because I know what these guys can do. I've seen it. Even with movies like Dead Silence, they don't. Dead Silence is another underrated movie in my opinion. Even though it's PG-13, if I'm not mistaken, that was a really good movie by James Wan, in my opinion. I like that movie. Don't love it, but I liked it a lot. There's a good movie. He makes good movies. Like, he knows what he's doing. These guys know what they're doing. When it comes to horror or when it comes to suspense, you can honestly make the case and argue that James Wan might arguably be the best director of his time right now. Honestly, it's just that good. Is A24 on the way up? Yeah, they're on the way up. Is Radio Silence on the way up? Yeah. Do they got the background that my man James Wan got? No. And they got a long way to catch up. Hmm, Conrad. Oh, that's an interesting question. That's an interesting question. All right. Before I answer this question, I'll say we'll go another, let's say, I'll go another 10 minutes on this stream before we wrap this up. And I'll answer whatever questions you guys have and all that stuff before we wrap it up. And I'm going to start with this one. What do you think of a Stephen King directed Halloween movie? I would want that, in my opinion. Let me take a sip. And let me flick my bic. Um, it wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't know. Do you mean like, all right, let me ask you this. All right, so you did say directed. It's interesting that you say directed because I can't even recall Stephen King directing his own novels. You know what I mean? Like, did Stephen King ever like other than I know he did like this TV series? What was it? Rose Red, and obviously, like, I mean, obviously they put his name on it, but it's because of his novels. What movies has Stephen King directed? Because if you show me a Stephen King movie that he did like direct, like a straight Stephen King movie that he directed, I would want to watch that movie first before I give you that answer. You know what I mean? Because I'd want to see how it would be. Now, if you're talking about a novel that could turn into a movie, if Stephen King would write a story based on Michael Myers, Dr. Loomis, and obviously the Halloween franchise, whatever, I would be down for that because he's a fucking phenomenal storyteller. He's a phenomenal storyteller. So if you give me a novel that we could turn into a movie, I'd be okay with that. But in terms of Stephen King actually directing it himself, I don't know because man, I can't recall a straight movie that it was Stephen King behind the camera directing. You know what I mean? Like as far as I know, all the movies that it's Stephen King's Pet Cemetery, it's all because of the novels and they just put his name on it. No, it's actually I like it. It's not a bad idea. I just don't know what his directorial skills are like. Like that's the only thing, Conrad. I like the idea. I like the idea of him writing, like him being the one to write the story. I just don't know if Stephen King. I'll look it up. I'll look up a list of actual movies Stephen King directed. And what we can do is on one of these watch parties, if he there is a movie that he flat out directed, we can watch it and we'll be the judges, and then we'll determine whether we would want Stephen King directing a Halloween movie. Now, in terms of writing a Halloween movie and writing a novel, I can get jiggy with that because much like John Carpenter, he has a brilliant mind. And I think he could find a way to where we can add some freshness to the franchise. Now, another way you can incorporate Stephen King in this franchise is if he does an anthology series that has nothing to do with Michael Myers at all. In my opinion, that would be better for Stephen King because he is the master, in my opinion, at anthologies and having those type of like TV series that run and run and run and run. Like he's the master at that for me. You know what I mean? So if we were to get that type, like an anthology series that does have nothing to do with Michael Myers, in my opinion, that might be better suited for him, in all honesty. But I actually like it. I actually like it. It's something different. You know what I mean? I never would have thought of Stephen King possibly writing or directing a Halloween movie. You know what I mean? Never crossed my mind at all. So good one, comrade. I like it. Val says King Halloween. Yeah, it does. It does make you do a for sure. Like I like to give Steven a chance because he is a brilliant mind. And I think what it would boil down to is whether would Steven do a Halloween movie based on Michael Myers, or would he do it based on something else? I think that's what it boils down to. And if he does choose Michael Myers, what direction would he take it in? I could easily see him trying to revisit the old storyline, in all honesty, of that being, Michael's sister, etc., etc. You know what I mean? But I would also hope he wouldn't do that if he were to do it and add his own take and his own freshness to it. Because I think he's that much brilliant of a mind that he can do that. Even with Michael Myers, I do think he's that much brilliant of a mind that he can come up with a story that we can appreciate for Michael Myers. In terms of directing, I had to find a movie that he actually directed and see, and we can watch that here on the channel. And then, like I said, we'll be the judge ourselves. Tina Forbes says M. Night Shyamalan. I like M. Night. I I I like M. Night. There is some movies that he has done that's like, what every director has that. You know what I mean? Like there's gonna be those certain movies you don't really care for. But Signs, another underrated classic in my opinion. Even though it's not full on horror like slasher, it's sci-fi horror. And I enjoyed it. I like that movie a lot. Signs was really good. It was so fucking creepy. But yeah, and that's what I like about M. Night Shyamalan. He's a really creepy. He likes to capture the creepiness in his movies. I like that about him. He also says, "LOL, sorry, not yelling. Also dispatching our two guys out." And I type in caps for that. Oh no, you're good, Val. You're fine. I want to sit down with Michael, like, boo, what's bugging you? That's a good one, Tina. That's a good one. I don't think anything is bugging him. No, you know what? I'll tell you this, Tina. I'll tell you what's bugging Michael. The fact that people just won't let him fucking kill and go home. Simple. That's just what it is. People keep trying to get in his way, and it's pissing him off. By each movie, he's just getting madder and madder and madder. All he wants us to do is let him kill us people, and then go back home and look out his window at the radio tower or whatever the fuck he's looking at. That's what's bugging him. Tina Forbes, I loved Signs. Yes, yes, yes. I love Signs too. That was really, really good. That's a really good movie, and in my opinion, I think that's underrated. I do. That's another underrated movie. It's the truth. It's the truth, Tina. Like that's all he wants to do is kill and go home. Even Lonnie said it in Halloween Kills. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I'll touch on real quick. What I loved about Halloween Kills is they captured the whole essence and point of Michael Myers. He kills, he goes home. There is no reason nor method as to why he does what he does. This is just what he does. This is what he wants to do. He wants to kill and go home. Just like, I want to get off of work and do a live stream and talk to you guys and maybe smoke a little weed and hang out. That's it. He just wants to kill people and go home. That's it. And look out his window. We don't know what he's looking at other than a reflection of himself. But that's just what he wants to do. No, the man just wants to live his own life the way he wants to live it. Oh, yeah, you're welcome, Conrad. No doubt, buddy. When you do a watch party for Rocky Horror Picture Show, you have to have someone on with you that knows the movie because it's an audience participation movie. So, what are you doing next Wednesday, Val? You can come on. As I told you, we can do this next Wednesday. That's next Wednesday. That's already on the books. Rocky Horror Picture Show is next Wednesday. So if you want to come on, you'll be more than welcome to come on, Val. I'll send you the link and everything. Just let me know what your schedule looks like. Or if next Wednesday isn't good for you, we can obviously pick another movie or whatever. And then whenever you do have off or whatever, we can schedule the Rocky Horror Picture Show watch party for that day. Just let me know. I respect this comment so much, Tina. I still have my hot pocket right here. So I respect that so much. I respect the shit out of that comment. Thank you, Val. Yes, no explanation on why the shape is the way he is. Evil just is. Simple. It's just it. You know what I mean? He's a force of nature. That's it. And John Carpenter said that years ago when he was talking about Rob Zombie. When they asked him, "What do you think of Rob Zombie's Halloween?" He said, "He's too damn big. Michael Myers isn't supposed to be that big. He's a normal guy who has the strength of a guy that size, and he's a force of nature. Simple. He's a force of nature. There's no explanation as to what he is. You try to humanize him too much. You know what I mean? So absolutely agree with that. Excuse me. Yes, Pet Cemetery. Yes, and actually, Pet Cemetery, the remake, was actually one of the better remakes. I enjoyed that remake. I thought that was really good. Oh, mm. Conrad, I don't know about that one, bud. I don't think that's up M. Night's alley, in my opinion. Ah, mm. The issue with me would be with M. Night Shyamalan doing a Nightmare movie. I feel like he would try to make it too serious and too creepy, and we wouldn't get that Freddy that we know and love, that we like, that has some comedic genius to him. So I don't know, man. How do you feel about that, Conrad? Do you would you want to see M. Night Shyamalan take on Nightmare on Elm Street? Like me personally, I'll say I'll give you 50-50, man. I'm half there, half not. Sweet Val. Yes. Yes. Love it. Love it. Yes, we can definitely link up for that. Just let me know what day is best for you. If not next Wednesday, then we'll figure it out. I'm funny and love Busta. I love Busta too. I love Busta's rapping too. I mean, he ain't a bad actor neither. It's just they just they fucked that whole movie up. You know, they did. I mean, but he was funny in that movie. I mean, even if you don't like that movie, you can't tell me that's not a classic line when he tells Michael, "Scoot skedaddle, get the fuck out of Dodge." It is. It's fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? Even though we may know in a real Halloween movie, he doesn't even get past that point. He doesn't even get no words uttered. That was good for comedy. It was, in my opinion. It really was. I enjoyed that part. Scoot, skedaddle, get the fuck out of Dodge. Yes, he did. Yes, he did have the right idea in mind, Conrad. Absolutely. For sure. Oh, I've seen the Goonies. I think do you mean Ghoulies, Tina? Because I've seen the Goonies. Goonies is a classic. Fucking Sledge. Fucking Goonies is a classic. Hell yeah, she's cool as shit. You know what I mean? Definitely. Everybody, all you guys are cool, man. Like, I appreciate you guys joining me for so much. You know what I mean? For this. You know what I mean? In all honesty, I appreciate you guys watching this movie with me, hanging out with me after the movie and stuff for a few minutes, etc. I greatly appreciate all you guys. You guys are awesome, honestly. Like for real. Val, are you talking about Meatloaf the singer? Rest in peace. Because if you are, we are definitely watching this movie. But the simple fact is, as a kid, I love that motherfucker. I don't know why. I my mom told me when I was a kid, whenever like, especially when I was like, basically still learning how to talk and walk. When I was a kid, I loved listening to Meatloaf. Like I would watch the music videos apparently and all that stuff. And even as I got a little bit older, I did like appreciate him because I understood why, because he did make some good shit. You know what I mean? That's that's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah. We're definitely watching this movie. That's hard as fuck. That's just like with this movie. It's bringing me back to my childhood. Like, wow, yes, we're definitely doing this. This is going down. You know what I mean? That's right, Tina. Now I want meatloaf. That's right. You know what I mean? Fuck. I want the food meatloaf and I want the singer meatloaf. And it's going down. We're definitely doing this watch party and it's gonna be fucking lit. Like, wow. Oh man. They're like shit. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I don't think we all understand how much horror content there is out there that a lot of us have not seen. You know what I mean? In all honesty, like there is so much. Like, I like to say, in all honesty, horror itself got more has more of a collectible, like more of a vault than any other genre, in my opinion. Like, there's just so many suspense thriller type horror, regular horror, slasher, paranormal, sci-fi. Like the vault that the horror genre has is literally it's like it's limitless. It's fucking nuts. And then now you got this what they call elevated horror now and stuff like that. So like, man, wow. Like we got a lot of shit. We definitely got a lot of shit in the horror in the horror genre. And yeah, definitely going to be looking to capitalize on a lot of this stuff that I may have missed over the years for sure. Oh my god. Where the fuck have I been? Oh my god. Oh, I um, that's an all-star lineup. Like that's an all-star lineup and I never watched this fucking movie. I'm ashamed. I'm so ashamed of myself. I mean, I've I've seen so many people talk about this movie and heard so many people talk about this movie and stuff, but for some reason, I don't know, maybe because like I said, I'm just mostly picky. I like what I like, but you know what I mean? No more being picky. No more being picky. The fourth wall has been broken through now. There's no more being picky from this guy. We are going to fucking tackle and delve into every fucking thing, whether it's whether it's the type of horror I like or not. You know what I mean? I like Tim Curry, Susan Sarandon, Barry Bostwick, and I have not seen this movie. I, I'm stupid, but it's okay. We're going to rectify that mistake for sure. Val, we're gonna rectify this mistake. Dino, my man, I seen you show up in the chat, man. What's going on, buddy? How you doing tonight, man? I appreciate you stopping in. What's going on, man? Yeah, yeah, we did a watch party for Night of the Demons. Stuff had a great time, had a blast. You know what I mean? Like, man, like I don't know. I think you were in the chat box Monday, Dino, if I'm not mistaken. But we were having a discussion about underrated horror movies, and I was spewing my list, and I fucking left this one out, and Val rightfully brought it up, and I can't believe I obviously forgot about it because it's one of my favorites. So to rectify that mistake, I said, "Fuck it, I'm going. I'm going to do a live part. I'm going to do a watch party on this movie tonight and stuff like that because I haven't watched it in like 2 years since the pandemic started and stuff like that. And I wanted to watch it with you guys, and I felt stupid for forgetting about it. So yeah, wanted to definitely do a stream about it tonight. And we had a great time. You know what I mean? I was telling them I was telling everybody in the chat, you know, that especially when you go back and watch a movie and stuff like that, you appreciate things that you may have missed before. And one of the things that I really, really appreciate is the special effects in this movie, like especially for the 80s. I feel like this special effects was kind of ahead of its time, in all honesty, because when you look at movies such as Evil Dead, and I'm always going to refer to that. That's my number one in the 80s. That you can tell that was 80s horror. The makeup looked so fake; it was falling apart. It didn't look good. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. But these guys, who did this movie, they showed real talent and real skill with the makeup transformation. Nothing was sloppy. Even when they got burnt up, like I said, it just everything looked right. I mean, everything was right in terms of makeup, special effects, and I did not realize it up until now how great the special effects was. You know what I mean? It's just, when you go back and watch a movie, you watch it a million times, but there's always things you either missed or things you failed to appreciate. And that's definitely one of them. Definitely failed to appreciate that and should have appreciated it a lot more, but I do now. Special effects in this movie for 1988 film is banging. It is. Like, it really is. You know what movie Conrad said, "Let's try some elevated horror." Y'all might laugh at me. I have not watched The Babadook. Sorry, Jenna Ortega. Sorry, Tara Carpenter. I have not watched The Babadook. As and for what obviously I hear and scream, and I'm pretty sure that's, I guess, elevated horror. Is Hereditary considered elevated horror? Because if so, that shit was trash, in my opinion. I hated that movie. I fell asleep. I that movie was so boring to me. I'm so if you're a fan of Hereditary, I'm sorry, you know what I mean? But me personally, that movie fucking sucked, and I will never watch it again. And I just nah, nah, nah. Val, that term bugs me, Conrad. I know that's right. I know that's right, Val. What did Ghostface say? Seems a little fancy pantsy. Seems a little fancy pants. But I'm willing to give everything a try. You know what I mean? And I've heard some good things about the Babadook, so you know what I mean? So that's something we can also put on the schedule as well. I mean, I've never watched it, you know what I mean? So and you said Val, you haven't either. So yeah, this is something we can explore together for sure. And we'll obviously pass judgment, when we get there. You know what I mean and stuff. But like I said, is Hereditary considered elevated horror? Because if it is, that shit was booty. That shit was trash. Not good booty either. That shit was trash. That I'm sorry. I can't do it. I tried and I tried and I just could not do it. Hey Dino, if you're still in the chat, buddy, or whatever, is Craven still going? Is he still streaming? Because we are about to wrap it up here, and if he is still streaming, I'm gonna hop on to his chat and holler at him for a second, see what's up with him, show him some love and stuff. So if you are still around, let me know if he is still on. Yeah, Val, you're right. That is a whole nother discussion, though. You know what I mean? Like I said, we'll do a live stream. Probably watching the Babadook. Do a watch party. You know what I mean? So, and we'll check it out, and we'll pass judgment on elevated horror. You know what I mean? We'll pass judgment on it and see if we like it, see what we feel about it. Dino says, "What's up, Val, Conrad, Tina? Hello, everyone. I told them you were streaming. Craven is about to wrap up. I'm sure we're all heading over here soon." Oh, okay. Val says he's still on. Okay, cool. Because I'm about to wrap up anyway and stuff too. Because I did want to get in his chat and stuff, and plus I do want to do some other things I want to get tomorrow's live stream for Throwback Thursday put together. I want to get I want to talk to talk to Val probably a little bit more after this or whatever and stuff like that. Or maybe, we'll talk tomorrow or something about, putting that live stream together for the Rocky Horror movie, for the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You know what I mean? Well, there's some stuff I got to get together for sure. And I want to do some videos. I know before I go to bed tonight, I want to, if I'm not going to drop it tonight, I'm going to drop it early in the morning, but I want to finish editing and everything tonight. I want to do a video, and I'll give you a quick hint on what that video is. I was reading an article on Screen Rant, a very interesting article about Halloween basically rendering Friday the 13th franchise useless, and there should be no reason for anybody should try to bring Jason back to the big screen. And I found that article very, very fascinating, and I want to share that with you guys. So I want to work on that tonight. So I am going to be wrapping up here in the next few minutes. That's what's up. Craven said hello, Marcus. I was just on his chat. That's what's up. Good looking out, Conrad. I'm still gonna go check him out and stuff like that, because that's my boy. I got love for Craven like a motherfucker. I do. Yeah, I mean, good guy, man. Really good guy. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like I said, you know what I mean? I got that video to do. Then I'm gonna be doing Throwback Thursday tomorrow or whatever. I'm actually going to be talking about Maniac Cop tomorrow. I want to do that Throwback Thursday, talk about that movie, have a discussion about that. I want to get Sundays. I got to basically get all my live streams like to a point where it's already set and scheduled. Even if I don't have like the description laid out, I you know what I mean? I can get that to when I get there. I just want to have these live streams like set and ready. So like, you know what I mean? Obviously, we grow our audience and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So, like, definitely got a lot of shit to do tonight. You know what I mean? That's one thing, you know what I mean? I hope at some point that, especially like financially, you know what I mean, here soon that I can like kind of like not have to work a regular job. You know what I mean? So I can focus on making this my full-time job. You know what I mean? Like, I really want this to be my full-time job, but bills do have to be paid, etc. and stuff. So me working a regular job plus doing this, it's difficult. It is. If I could, I would release at least three videos a day if it was up to me. You know what I mean? Right now it's just not possible. So I do what I do. But I appreciate you guys always supporting me, honestly. You know what I mean? Chess, Conrad, Maniac Cop tomorrow. I will be doing a discussion about that. I will. For sure. All right, gang. I'm gonna wrap it up for this stream. Obviously, for Night of the Demons watch party. Rewatch this stream. Please hit this like button and subscribe to this channel if you are a new viewer. The support is greatly, greatly appreciated. As well as if you're a returning viewer, hit the like button on this stream. Helps the channel out a ton. You guys know. I mean, support is greatly, greatly appreciated, you guys. But once again, this is I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. I'm your host, Marcus, and I will catch you guys on the next one. I shot him 6 times.